Hi YouTube, how are you doing? I'm doing okay. I was watching Jason from Archaics had a guest on that does astrology, and some of you know I have done a few videos on ley lines and monoliths and that type of thing from around the world, and how they use the ley lines in witchcraft. Um, Longitude, latitude, where you live on the planet, you can be communicated with using, it's not really the powers or the principalities of the air, it's more like the principalities of the ground that they communicate um, psychically with people. This is a fact. I've been trying to tell people about it for a long time. So anyway, this dude comes up. He's got a chart, and people seem to believe him because he had a chart. I don't know why. Um, what I was saying seemed to escape people, but I don't know. I really don't know. Like if I made a chart, it would make it more believable or what. I've got several videos talking about these types of things and how it works, the mechanics of this place we call Earth. It's actually mathematically mechanical. And this guy, according to people's birth charts and where you live, can actually, like, there's different energies we can draw off of different places we are in the world. So say like if the Egyptian pyramids were psychically, electronically, etherically connected to the Memphis pyramid that's in the United States of America, in the state of Tennessee. I've been trying to tell people this is so important. You gotta really get what I'm saying. It's not just 5G that can do things in the ether or vibrationally. It's actually things like rebar in highways, rail systems, waterways, and microwave. There's different waves, but the earth itself is the biggest conductor of electricity, you know. Um, People are missing what's right under their feet, you know, basically. I think they're looking to the stars too much. It's my opinion, and kind of living in a fanciful land, like things are more spiritual than what they actually are. There's actually a mechanics and a system to the whole thing. Um, that's pretty simplified if you think about it like that. And your body's a toroid, so you collect these energies naturally. Cheers, everybody. Wish I had a chart. No, I don't. I wish people would hear what I was saying and say, oh my God, how's she know this? Because I studied it when I was younger. I don't have graphs and papers. I'm telling you the truth of what I was taught by masters in this field. Not, it's something I had to actually dive into and learn. And then I just talk like a human being would, telling you these things, not trying to make any money off of it. And this is kind of the type of response I get is we'll just wait for somebody else to come along that we'll listen to, I guess, is the type of feeling I get off of people. It's like, fuck you. You know, you'd feel the same way too. That's a good song. Feeling that way too. Think it's Journey. Might be. But anyway, it really is a real thing. And they've been doing it for ages. Yeah. Pretty sure I can't prove, and I don't even know if the Tower of Babel was a real thing. But if it were, it would have been for ethereal control over the people, seemingly coming from a different level, like you have with radio communications, you have or fiber optics, you have land, you have LAN and SAN, like land or satellite, different levels of communication in the atmospheres, and the ground being one all by itself, you know. No, he didn't have that on that chart, and he didn't talk about the mind control that's going on with the people either. He's just using it for astrology, and he wants people to pay him for that type of thing that you can tap into on your own accord without any magic charts or zodiacs or anything. It doesn't matter who you are or where you are. You can tap into the Akashic records and gather anything that you need to know. It'll be there for you, you know. Really. You just have to open your mind to it, you know. So, yeah. People making money off of other people, telling them what kind of day they're going to have or whatever. Yeah, that's really predictive. Yeah, right. I wonder who came up with that system. I am being a smartass because I know these people are Masonically connected. I know everybody who is. I mean, if you're genuinely trying to help people, that's one thing. But if you're doing something a little bit off and I know it, I'll know why you are too. So it's like, whatever. You don't have to um, show me your deceiving ways more than once for me to actually get it. You know, I'm not too dense when it comes to reality, you know. And these things aren't supernatural. It's a part of our reality. So it's not a surprise when people like that are in the public eye or whatever, like the world leaders, um, being connected to a system of control, and then the underlings of that system. And I know them, you know. You should know them too. You'll know them by their fruits, you know, uh, or their lack of them, you know. Yeah, it is irritating as all hell because they give you these the science of it all out in little increments. But something that this guest of Jason said that struck me odd was using psychiatrists to prove a point. Psychiatry is a pseudoscience of the mind. It's everybody's opinions through the ages. And yes, as somebody studying psychology on any level, you can think to yourself, okay, we can take a consensus, we can do a study on like-minded, like where do we concede that this is the thing that we all agree on, we're in agreement on a certain thing, is really the best that the science of the mind can do. It is not down pat tangible science like doing an experiment and coming out with the same result gives you a definitive logical answer, a measurable answer. And although the science of the mind, yeah, they say they can measure it on a certain level. It's a pretty new science, 200-300 years isn't a really long time to be philosophizing about the mind. Um, if you were Socrates or Plato or whoever back in the day, you know, um, yeah, I was thinking of some other ones there too. It doesn't matter anyway. So, when the science first came about, it's like Freud or Carl Jung or Jung, however, whatever, these type of people. Um, it's still, and that gets me to anybody that has written a book on the mental health of people, the ones that have the most publications of their work sold actually had mental illnesses and drug problems. That trips me out. Like, wow, we could just go, like, I worked at uh well, it wasn't just detox, it was a um drug rehabilitation hospital. Well, anyway, that'd be like going in there and giving them all journals and saying, okay, genius, do your best. And, that's not out of the realm of possibility. I'm not saying that, but it'd be likened to that with the people that actually write any kind of psychological disorders into a journal, a medical journal, telling you or I about our minds, you know. But anyway, it sort of tripped me out that this guy who does astrology, which I am really good at, by the way, and so he's like citing authors of psychiatry. I'm like, what? Yeah, I suppose if we're all gonna just go on pseudosciences, but the the lights in the sky, in the firmament, um, and the way our atmosphere works and stuff, these are things that are measurable. It's not a pseudoscience. So astrology itself really isn't a pseudoscience, although it's a fairly new science too in terms of the human family, you know. But yeah, we might hear some, or you might have been hearing some noise. Doug's putting shelves in our entryway, so yeah, just in case we hear some pounding or skill saw or whatever, you'll know what that is. Yeah. But I really do. I know when these people are Masonically connected or their wives are. And this dude in particular, I don't think was a Mason, but I think his wife was Eastern Star or somebody that he had been related to because he was on a certain. I can't prove somebody's nefarious, I can sense it, but if I can't definitively prove it, I can't really give you the name of the person, but I'm not going to recommend them either. It's like, nah, let's see the integrity of this person first. And there was a couple things that he said throughout the live stream that Jason did, and Jason did wonderful. Far better than I would have during that interview, for personal reasons. It's like, yeah, okay. Well, I could say a whole lot more about that, and I almost did, and I'm just going to hold my tongue here. It was a rough one. When I hear other people saying and doing things to people, and I know they are, and I can't prove it, and the other person knows too, but even if they choose to overlook it, it doesn't mean I'm going to, you know. So anyway, or did. That's how I feel. Because when you say something that's rude and not aligned, then you say something just as rude, equally as rude, almost by way of covering it up. The first one was bad enough. Why go into a second one? I mean, my spirit scolding him, I could see it, and then he just made it worse by trying to make it seem like he was talking about somebody else when he wasn't. And I don't know if it was out of jealousy or cruelty, or it was a demeaning spirit. That's all I got to say. And I know it was. I can't prove it. Jason, if you're watching me, I caught that shit the 3 times that shit was done, by the way. So, anyway. And I doubt that this person would ever even watch me. He's one of them that's really got his head up his ass, to say it kindly. Was that kind? Kind of wasn't, was it? So, anyway. I get like that when I see people being demeaned in any extreme, putting people down. That's never a joke. And I don't take it lightly. I don't care if it's done to me or not. I don't care when I see that shit. In fact, when it's done to somebody else, it's really far worse. Especially if the person takes it gracefully. It's like, no, I'm not I'm not doing that. I won't. you know, I can't. It's just not in me to let something slide that's filthy like that. I had to say something. So, yeah, I hate it. I know I've been on in the past, and I have curbed this some, but when trolls were like really bad, I was like the troll police. I could not stand these creatures. It's like I had to stop. It's like, wow. Even if somebody else deals with it well, it's just I just there's no reason for it, and no, there's only one reason for that type of shit. So, but believe me, it does matter where you live on the ley lines on the earth. You might want to see what parallel you live on. Where's your, like, are you on the 47th ley line, or 39th, or 33 like Washington DC, or whatever, that type of, where are you at, you know why is, when people are playing chess with the spirit of God, I just wondered, and they really are, by the way, and they already know the queen beats everybody, you know is capable of that. Why even, like, You can put your king up against her, but she'll take you, so what then? You might be able to get her with a knight. I doubt it, but perhaps. Anyway, I was going to say, what a stupid game. And it's not. I mean, the possibilities of the moves are something else. And playing a real person is a lot different. Like, I can beat a computer in chess, so what? You know, is the computer smarter than a human being? Evidently not. You know, some people aren't smarter than a human being either, but they surely think they are. Yeah, I think, like the old saying, some people are playing checkers against on a chessboard, or, you know. Well, same board, but anyway, yeah. Anybody like backgammon? I used to play that, but in like Parcheesi, some of these way old games I haven't seen, cribbage. I haven't seen all these things around for a while. People that play them, I don't know. The only reason I even went to dealer school was because the only job I could get around my area didn't pay what I could get making up at the casino when my kids were little. So, yeah, paid for that class and became a dealer. That's pretty good when you have dyslexia and you can train your mind to do what a dealer has to do. That's extraordinary. I really do credit the grace of God for helping me within myself with that. And that's a lot of things. The female spirit of God helps people with fears and speech impediments and all kinds of different things. And once she helps them, they forget who helped them and don't even give her credit. It's like, oh, you're nothing. You're nothing to us. It's okay. You can't talk very well anyway. So who's nothing? What would they do if they didn't have that type of guidance and reassurance for strength and abilities on this planet? That she actually shared her energy with them for that. And then they were like, we don't even know you. you know. Anyway, yeah. Because that's exactly what's going on in the world. It is the female spirit and the motherly nurturing and healing tendencies. Oh, Jason made a huge, cool point, and it is true. The mother actually is composed of two souls when she's pregnant. She actually is, you know. And even like the scriptures say, well, the Spirit of God, Christ's Spirit was in the woman from the beginning. She didn't acquire that. She didn't beg for that. That was hers from the beginning. How do people miss that? What's that? It's not a man. It can be, you know. And I believe this world needs men to pretend you're women. See how you do at that. And when you can't make any more generations for your demon ass to jump into, what then? Is that artificial intelligence being put in check because what? It's intelligent. I just unplug your ass. Yeah. Everybody, oh, what if AI takes over? Hello. What about software programs and hard drives and all that? And I'm not just saying what if like I don't know these things. I actually built Doug, not this computer, but the one before it. So not only do I know software, I can actually get inside them and work on them, you know, that I did. Putting components in that were missing out of different things and yeah. And then putting the system and the software in there and yeah. So I'm not just talking like I don't really know um like the workings of like mechanics or electronical or anything because these are some of my abilities, you know. So when I'm talking about like electricity and the Akashic records and the ether, it's like the in between um is where the demons hide in the shadows. The shadow parts of your mind that you're not aware of that you can tap into. And I'm not just talking demon like demonic, you know, or diamond, damon. Oh, yeah, they can be demonic. Oh, no doubt. You know, but they don't have to be. But they can be. And yes, some of them are. So when you're dealing in the ether and you're doing things ethereal, it can definitely, you might get a headache if you can't deal with it, if you can't handle it. You know, and there's some people, not everybody, but some people can actually do two things at one time. You know, moms are kind of gifted at that. You might notice there's a whole crowd of people. There could be four moms. They're all talking. Kid comes up, says mom. Few of them turn around. The kid gets addressed. They still keep the conversation going without skipping a beat or having to be told where they left off. You know, that type of thing. If you know what I mean. I think you get what I'm saying. Moms are pretty good at not just multitasking, but because a task requires physical abilities, you only have so many limbs to do your tasks with. But your mind has more than one road, more than one in and output type of thing. um I don't know, these people like, you're making my brain hurt. Well, then your brain probably should hurt. Maybe you need to exercise it a little more so next time you stretch it, you don't give yourself a coronary, or what would that be? An aneurysm. Yeah. Or a coronary. You could end up with an aneurysm giving you a coronary. Anyway, it's true. Or maybe just a little stroke or something. For Christ's sake, if you can't get a grip sending messages to God from an angel, you got problems. I mean, like speaking and thinking at the same time is kind of like a natural reaction for all of us, you know. It's like, oh, yeah. And I was going to say it doesn't have anything to do with age. In a sense, it actually does. I only want to talk to the most ancient of beings. Anybody else is sort of like you would be um, like a fly on the wall in the situation. In my eyes, towards you, is how, not you, but them, that those ones. those type that come up and try and pretend that they're all loving towards human beings, and then I find out different. When I find that difference, you're going to have to be careful. Well, being careful isn't going to help you. That's a fact. You'll find out. I'm not just talking to hear myself talk, you know. I'm talking so you can understand what's up in the world and the way people treat each other, what it's all about. It's only one side or the other. There is no in between. Oh, anyway, knock it off, gray hair. It'll be cool when it's all white. It's okay now. It doesn't bother me, you know. Anyway, but when I have white hair and brown eyes, that's gonna look pretty radical. Then I probably have to put on like a hoodie and act like a mage or something. Yeah. So, well, I'm gonna get this uploaded. I wanted to make everybody aware that there's different ways the dark force communicates. Um, the only communication in your blood is the Christ spirit from the female reaching you from the inside out. Anything else, and that's your instincts. Anything else is put there by other stuff, and it isn't for your benefit. And you're always to seek the voice in the face of the Father. Um, Sometimes He can use people to help us communicate. And that's really what we're all supposed to be doing. For these people to sell their services, I mean, why don't you just make videos and help people and then see who actually wants to watch your stuff? It's like I've been watching a couple channels and I think, well, something cool. And then every like 30 seconds, there's a commercial. I mean, I know people want to make their money, but isn't that a bit much? I mean, I know there's one professor I watch of psychology and actually has a master's in, I'll get there just a second, um, physics. And he's super interesting. And some of you know Sam, Professor Vaknin, Professor Sam Vaknin. Um, he's a bright cookie, and he was fighting with YouTube. He didn't want commercials on his videos at all, but some of them have them, and he's still trying to fight with them about all that. But people's ways, your way will be made in this world. You'll have it made in the shade if you do things right. All of a sudden, your ship's going to come in. If you do things right, that's the way it works for you. It's like, I can think something I need, and guess what will show up on my doorstep? Something I need. Why is that? It might not be brand new. It might be like an old friend. No. Oh, shit. Get it? Something I need. Yeah. Um, anyway. I think you got my point about how things operate a little better for controlling other human beings and your own information field and your own communication with people in this world. It's not supernatural. It can be a science. It is a science, but it's mechanical in a sense, and it's real. It's absolutely real. Just like God trying to talk to your souls, using people to do that. It's all a very, very real thing. And I know people are into getting into their higher selves, talking to your higher self. Careful what you're hearing. Yes, we have higher selves, but there's one much higher that we need to be talking to. We're not trying to talk to our higher selves. Yes, elevate your mind and do things that's right. That's your higher self. If you have to meditate to do that, I feel sorry for you. It's ultimately we're seeking the face of God, the Almighty. You know, it's not an opinion. These are facts. And you'll come to that fact when the closer you get to feeling like a raisin, whether you're a California one or not, when your electricity gets deeper into your bones of your whole soul and your being, maybe it's going to take a lifetime for that actually to ignite the actual fire of the one true God within you. But before you drop dead, you're going to get that, whether you like it or not. So, okay, everybody, I appreciate you joining me. I hope you gathered something out of this. Maybe share it or like it or whatever. What the hell you doing here? But I do love you all and I appreciate it. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have good night or day wherever you're at. And for the record, I don't care who knows my address. You can do to me anyway, even if you tried. Think what you will. Okay, peace again. Later.